Sadly, we had a technical issue during the live show where my voice kept echoing. I fixed it since then, but it's gonna really hurt. You can't watch the video right now. You cannot watch the interview. So what I did is I took the best part of that show and I cut it down to where Tim explains how to make sure that you don't run out of money, that you have enough cash flow in your business, and how to see that over time, and what to do if you're seeing that you're about to get into the red so that you're not losing your business over that. So I'm gonna switch over to Tim explaining how to use this spreadsheet for your business. And then we're gonna try to make sure that Tim gives you that spreadsheet so that you too can use that in your own business. Right now, you can get that if you are joining Tim on his event. But when the event is over and this is in replay, we'll figure out a way. If you really want that spreadsheet, comment below and we'll try to make Tim make that available for you. So enjoy the show. Welcome to I'm That Geek. Let's switch over to Tim and see how you can have a very successful business now, today, and forever. Tim, over to you.
I think that there's two things coming to mind for me right now. The first is that ultimately it's cash that is the oxygen of a business. And whether we wildly underestimate or overestimate something, at the end of the day, do not run out of cash. And so along those lines, there's a tool that I have pretty much never heard a small business accountant encourage. And yet I think it is probably one of the two most crucial tools for almost any business, and that's a cash flow forecast. So I think the first is a balance sheet, and the second is a cash flow forecast. So all that is again, I'm gonna open up good old Google Sheets. It's totally free. Okay, so if you're to build this out, you can see that I've just got the dates across the top. I've got 13 weeks. Super simple. There's no rocket science here. Then from there, and so all these tabs are here because when I teach this, I'm just showing you how we build it out. But normally it would just be all in one tab. So then after that, I would add my average monthly expenses. So this is fictional data, but just it's data so we can work with it. So I have cash going out on average of, let's say, $10,000 a month. Now, the way that you come up with this number is you can simply just go to your credit card statement, or you can go to your bank account. And I get it, every single month has its own fluctuations up and down, and some months are heavier and some are lighter. But if all you do is just look at like, how much did I pay down my credit card each month? And you average that over the last
I'm sorry, Tim,
months.
hold on just a second. Neville, don't unmute yourself. While someone else is talking, you need to be muted. Okay, go ahead.
All right, perfect. So again, this doesn't need to be like some forensic accounting adventure where you have to get it all specific. Like literally just what is the average amount that I'm spending on a monthly basis? And you can literally just look at your credit card. And then if you have any other like major checking accounts you're cutting big checks from, like literally, I'm telling you, in under 20 minutes, you can have an average monthly amount that's going out the door on a monthly basis. So then just slot that into your forecast here. Then after that, we're going to add what kind of like new and one-time or occasional expenses are coming up. So maybe I'm paying commission to someone who helped promote me. Maybe I'm going to a workshop that's $10,000, flights, accommodations, and tuition. Maybe I'm buying some new tool, be it software or hardware or a physical something, whatever, maybe I have to buy inventory, whatever it is, whatever the cash outflows are that are kind of more occasional, then I'm going to add those in as to when I think they're coming down the pipe. Then after that, I'm going to add what are the repeating inflows. So cash coming into my world. And maybe I see that on average, if you're someone like Elena, who has a great online course, we just know that every couple weeks, my credit card company settles with me, and when I average that out, it's $3,000 every couple weeks. In Elena's case, it'd be much higher than that, but just as an example. Or maybe you've got a client who's paying you every 2 weeks, or maybe you've got whatever the case may be. So then after that, then we're going to add in what kind of cash that's coming in that's occasional. So maybe I'm receiving a commission, or maybe I'm teaching a workshop and I'm being paid $500 to show up for it or something like that. So go ahead and add those cash in. Then after that, we're going to subtotal this. So in this week, I've got cash coming in of this amount, and I've got cash going out of this amount. And this week, I've got this amount of cash coming in, and I got this amount of cash going out. And all it is, it's like a stone simple calculation. It's literally just summing what's going on here, and then here we're just summing on what's going there. Then from there, we need to take so what's the net for the week? So we can see that all that was added here is, we said sum 9,500 in minus 10,000 out. So this is a negative $500 week. Then from there, we're going to add a bank balance. So if I'm starting right now today, now today's not August the 1st, but whatever you would adjust it so it is on point. Let's say I got $5,000 in the bank. Then from there, that goes there. And then I'm going to now add a start and end cash. So I've got $5,000 at the start of everything right here. So that $5,000 is there. So that's the exact same number. In fact, that number feeds that number. And because I already know that the net cash for this week is negative 500, that comes from plus 9,500 minus 10,000, negative 500. At the end of this week, I know I'm going to be somewhere around $4,500 in the bank because I started with 5, which is that number there. I ended up with a net of negative 500 for the week, so I'm going to end up with approximately 4,500. So then from there, I'm going to now build that out across all the weeks. So I'm simply dragging this formula and pulling it across, and I can see that on balance, I'm going to have 5,000 when I start. Then I'm going to be minus 500 for the week, which is the 95 minus the 10. And I'm going to be left with 4,500 at the end of the week. At least that's what it looks like is likely going to happen. This isn't, hardcore or anything, but that's what it's looking like. Now, guess what? My end cash here becomes my start cash for the next week. Ending at 4,500, therefore the start of the next week is 4,500. We know that this week is $0 coming in, 5,000 going out for negative $5,000 for that week. I had 4,500 at the start of the week. All the stuff happened, and now I'm at negative 500. So I'm literally upside down. I'm out of money, right?
Yep.
And yet again, the end cash becomes the beginning cash. Here's what happened for the week. Here's where I end up. End cash becomes start cash. Here's what happened for the week. Here's where I end up. If I want to be extra geeky, because just like you, Ifat, I'm that geek. I've actually put conditional formatting on. And so anytime there's a positive number here, it's green. And anytime there's a negative number, it's red. So what that means is I can now see what is coming down the pipe. And you know what? It doesn't matter that I've got this big check coming for 10 grand here, and I'm ultimately going to be $500 in the green because I've run out of cash twice already. So what that tells me is I gotta rejig this situation. So I might say, for example, to this person that's giving me commission here, $10,000, I might say, could we renegotiate this that I could get paid weekly instead of one lump sum? And so this might become 3,333, 3,333, 3,333, and I'm going to remove that. And guess what? Just by renegotiating one payout with one person who's supposed to pay me, I've now pushed the uh-oh line, also known as the OS line, down the line. And guess what? I went from having 14 days of breathing room because I was going to be upside down here to now having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of breathing room. And now I can breathe again, at least a little bit, right? I know I'm going to make payroll. I'm going to go pay everyone and all the rest. I've got a new problem, right? I got a new problem that I'm going to hit the uh-oh line on September the 5th. I'm going to be upside down by 3,000. What do I got to do? Well, maybe what I need to do then is, instead of teaching this workshop here, I need to teach this workshop here. And instead of it just being something casual, because it's not that big of a deal, I'm going to double down on it, and I'm going to put a ton of energy into promoting it. And instead of it being 500, I think I'm going to be able to do the workshop sooner. It'll be $2,000. And now I'm in better shape, right? Now I might also see, oh my goodness, okay, so I've got this $10,000 a month of expenses, what would happen if I then went into my expenses? I find out, there's some software I'm not using. I find out that, I really don't need that one thing. Like it was a nice to have. It was a good idea at the time, but I just don't need it anymore. And I can actually cut my expenses by $2,000 a month. And I'm now down to eight grand in expenses. And guess what? I just saved the day. Now I get to push the line even further down the path. And then as I keep looking at this, I can go, well, you know what? I'm $3,500 upside down here. I hate trading time for money. You know what I mean? Like that's for like rookie entrepreneurs. I don't like to trade time for money. That's such a drag. But you know what? It doesn't have to be forever. I'm in trouble right here in, 8 weeks from now or so. I'm going to be upside down by $3,500. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce right now that I'm going to do a mini mastermind where 4 people will get to fly to my city, and I'm going to sit with them with their laptops, and I'm going to build out their thing with them. Or if you've got a physical product, I'm going to do a flash sale. Yes, I'm going to sacrifice some margin, but I just need to have some cash. And so, maybe you don't always want to do flash deals. Maybe you don't always want to do masterminds. Maybe you don't want to do done for you work. But you know what? Because you're a CEO of your business now, you're not just a lifestylepreneur. You're going to take this seriously, and you're going to say, all right, I'm going to do this intensive for 5 people. They're each going to pay me $2,000. I'm going to generate $10,000 for myself right there. And guess what? Now I'm clear for the entire period. So you can see now I'm literally engineering piece by piece what this needs to look like. And I can see where the expletive moments are well in advance. And so now I can do something about it. And now I know, like, if a critical part of me being safe and secure and like that I can sleep at night is that I get paid these 3 commissions on time, then that tells me I better put it in my calendar. I'm going to contact that entrepreneur who's supposed to pay me, and I'm going to remind them, hey, friendly reminder, just want to make sure we're still on track for this payment to go through on Monday of next week. Thanks so much. I'm sure it's going to go through fine. Love, Tim or Ifat or Tim and Ifat or whatever, right? And from there, I know, like, what do I need to do when I wake up on the morning of August the 6th? I need to remind this person to pay me on August the 8th, right? And now I can line up my marketing calendar around this as well, because I know I need to announce this intensive. And I know that I also need to alter my marketing calendar because we need this workshop to happen. And I also know that I need to take a quick look, like what are some quick things I could reduce my expenses? And so now my to-do list as a CEO is becoming way clearer, instead of me just getting all hopped up on the latest idea of, I need a Facebook Live 5 times a week so that I can build my business, or I need to, podcast 10 times in the next, or I got to start a new podcast or something like that. Let's connect ideas to reality, and then let reality inform ideas. And between the two, we're able to come up with like a clear CEO plan. And so circling all the way back to Elizabeth's question around monitoring losses and business plans and all the rest, hopefully, Elizabeth, you can see by taking this approach, we now have like sanity on where we're going to be at on the reality of this business. And you know what? If it turns out that some of my assumptions, because it's a new project or new launch, let's say that this is a flop. Okay, well, let's find out that it's a flop. If this leads to not 500, but instead it's only $100, okay, well then let's know about that. And now we just got to rejig the situation and so it's not about having like a one-time like silver bullet that solves everything. It's about what is the week-to-week reality. And I'm not suggesting that an entrepreneur has to do this every single week. I would say if you're in an extremely tight cash position, do it almost every single week, if not every single week. That's what I had to do. I was on almost a daily basis when I was $120,000 in debt and had almost no way of making money because I was sick and I couldn't walk, which happened to me in 2011. I couldn't walk for 3 months. And literally every week I had to be looking at my bank balance. I had to be looking at like, where was I at? Where's the oh shit line in terms of, when am I going to run out of money? And sometimes if it looks like we're just going to run out of money, we need to know like, okay, well, I got to go raise some money from an investor. I got to get a loan from a bank, or I got to go get a credit card or something like that. And what makes all that possible is like time. If I can see ahead of time something's coming, I can go and get a loan, or I can ask to borrow money from someone, or I can go get that credit card or whatever. when it's the 31st of the month and I have to pay everyone on the 31st of the month and only then do I run out of money, that is a huge problem, because not only do I not have the money, it's a huge panic. It affects my friends, my family, my loved ones. My own stress level goes through the roof. And now I got to ask for favors, and now I look unprofessional to all the people that I owe money to, right? So it's about getting that sight to be able, that clarity about what's coming down the path, so that I've got the breathing room to be able to shift and shake as needed, depending on what's coming down the pipe of me. Does that make sense?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
My commitment to helping entrepreneurs to graduate into being CEOs, so that they can actually have the clarity of where they're at, where they need to go, and also the leadership of their accountant, so their accountant can help them to build the business the way that the entrepreneur wants, and also so that entrepreneur can gain confidence, competence, clarity, and control. So now that filters down through the whole business. When we've got a CEO that's clear that we're healthy financially, we know that we've got something we got to deal with coming up in 5 weeks, and we know that we've got this other thing coming down the road 10 weeks from now, the amount that entrepreneur just gets to like calm, like just like be at peace and free to do the things they love, like create and promote and speak and be with customers and be the face of the business, whatever it is that is your jam, then let's get you to that place. And if we've got this existential threat of, I don't know if I'm going to run out of money, or I don't know what's coming down the pipe or whatever, it really prevents us from just being at peace to do the parts of the business that we love. So Know Your Numbers is a 2-day course that's happening here in Austin. I've never presented this publicly before. And I also have, so this is the first time ever. And I was, in the past, when I thought about creating this course, I was pretty sure I would charge between $2,000 and $5,000 for it, because it's just so essential and powerful. Then 3 months ago, I joined a personal development course through the Landmark organization, and they encouraged us to create a volunteer project where we could pick a community that we really like, and from there do something meaningful for that community. I'm a diehard entrepreneur. I just like dripping entrepreneur. And I said, what is a difference I could make for entrepreneurs here in North America? And it dawned on me that this course that I'd been wanting to put out for quite a while would be exactly the right fit. And so I'm actually doing this course for free, plus a donation to Kiva. Now, the minimum donation to Kiva is $25, so it's very inexpensive. It's basically free. And what Kiva is Kiva creates loans to third world entrepreneurs. And I'm telling you guys, sometimes we feel like we have challenges or whatever. I mean, there are people in third world countries that $25 would allow them to buy like 5 more chickens, and those chickens then produce more food. The community that they're in then has more nourishing food for babies and children and adults. And that entrepreneur, it's not a handout, it's a hand up. It's not a gift, it's a loan, right? And so they end up paying that loan back, the $25. And then from there, guess what? You and I, as the Kiva lenders, we're able to re-lend that money out a second time, a third time, a fourth time. So we can actually recycle the money over and over and over again. I think that, instead of giving our money to I won't say too many names, but big mega charities that only 5 or 10% makes it to the front lines, I am way more interested in having 100% of money go to the front lines, which is what happens with Kiva. And secondly is I love the idea of actually building an asset for each of these third world entrepreneurs to build their assets. So now they're better off. We're teaching them to fish, not giving them fish. And just the collective ability and prosperity of the world gets to climb. So yes, you get to work on your own financials and improve your own financial situation by coming to Know Your Numbers. You also get to help entrepreneurs around the world, which just absolutely makes my heart glow. So the course is September 8th and 9th. EFAT on the screen there has the button for Know Your Numbers in the top right corner.
So let me show you what happens. So right here on thatgeek.com/live, you will see right here next to our video these little buttons for the event with the dates and everything. Once you click on that, this page opens up, and this will tell you everything you need to know about the event. And when you scroll down, it shows you how to register. You can join Team's Kiva team, or you can go directly to Kiva and just let Team know. And when you open that, this is what happens. You're going to see this page. You're going to learn about Kiva if you don't know anything yet about them, which I didn't. And Tim, this was a little confusing to me because I didn't realize that clicking on this actually is joining your team. So if someone comes to this page, all they have to do is click lend now to a person, or what do they need to do in order to qualify for your event?
Yeah, so you can click that lend now. If you want to donate to a different entrepreneur overseas, you can donate to anyone. All that we want to see is just a screenshot that you've donated to some overseas entrepreneur. So if you click lend now, then from there you would put in your credit card information or however it is that you're paying. And then from there, once you have your success page indicating that you've successfully lended to Kiva, then you would just email that into us, and now you've got your spot in the course. And the other step is we do need your information there. So first name, last name, email, cell. You would click, I joined your team and donated, or I made a Kiva donation, email the receipt. Then from there, click the box, I understand my registration is not complete with a Kiva donation. You'd hit submit, and you would be into the course. Just that simple.
So again, if you guys want to do that, it's right here next to our video. You see this beautiful know your number little icon. Click on that. That will take you to the page, Teams page, and you can decide however you want to register. You'll have the event and the details here. It's going to be in St. Edward's University on Congress Avenue in Austin, Texas. And you'll get to meet us face to face, which will be fantastic. And then Tim and I will meet face to face, which will be fantastic.
And we do have people coming from multiple cities. We've got multiple people flying in from out of state. We've got someone coming from Portland. We've got a few people thinking about coming in from Canada. So, this isn't just for Austin entrepreneurs, nor is it just for Texas entrepreneurs. This is available, to anybody who thinks this is really important.